All right. Shalom, Yasharala. I'm giving infinite honors to my Heavenly Father, my great King, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Harakakadash, double honors to all the apostles and the bishops, great millstone, salutation to my fellow laborers in the Mashai, Yahweh Shai, preaching the blood doctrine across the four lands of this fine hour. All right. This clip is just what the title says, examples, how we know we're about to go into Jacob's trouble, things that is going on right now. The Lord gave us tokens, signs to let us know we're at the end. And one of the greatest lies ever told was who the nation of Israel is, and it was told by the kings of the earth. All right, and the number one king of the earth is Amalek, so-called Jews. All right, the red Hebrew Edomite, the chief tribe of them is Amalek, these so-called Jews. And I'm gonna give you a few examples to let you know how they're about to come down on us and how shit is about to hit the fan, and they're going to come down on us with great wrath. Because when somebody's telling a lie and manipulating you, the person, and then they're getting resources from it, the person that they're going to hate the most is the person that's exposing their lie. The person that's shedding light on them. It has a saying called what people say, the gig is up. All right. And when the gig is up, that means you've been exposed, you've been made. Okay. So I'm gonna start off with this clip with Dwight Howard, okay, to show that these are the devils the Bible speak of. You can't even speak against them. You can't come against them and say anything contrary to them because they're ruling the earth. You know what? And this is a telltale sign who's ruling the earth. The basic scripture we always bring out, okay, that everybody needs to know. All right, this is Job chapter 9. We'll go straight to the point, verse 24. All right, it's a 4-time written. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, now for you to know who the earth is given into, you got to see who puts the laws in the earth. All right, who controls the money system. Okay, who you can't speak ill against, who you can't speak contrary to, all of your resources get taken for you. All right, or you get thrown in a dungeon. Okay, and the people that is, you can speak against gooks, you can speak against Arabs, you can call them camel jockeys, you can call gooks, so-called Chinese people gooks. You call East Indians red dots, and you don't get no backlash. You can even call regular Edomites that are not of the house of Amalek rednecks and crackers. But you cannot say nothing against these so-called Jews. They have put this term in the earth called anti-Semitism. All right. And when you speak against them, you can lose your job. You can lose your resources. Your livelihood can get taken away from you. And Donald Trump said in one of his recent speeches that he's trying to make it an act punishable by death, okay? Because they are his handlers. They're the reason he's a billionaire, okay? So that's how you know the earth, who the earth is given into the hand to. The movers and the shakers, the people you can't speak against, and the people that rule the money system. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. And the way he covered the faces of the judges thereof, the nation of Israel are the judges. They elected them. All right. How did he cover their faces? They say that they're the judges. They say that they're the Jews. They whitewash the judges. All right. They identity they are identity thieves. They stole the identity of the judges. Okay. That's how they covered the faces of the judges. They changed the doctrine that the judges push across the planet Earth. All right. The judges are so-called black men. Okay. Native American men, all right? Hispanic, so-called Hispanic men. Those are the judges, all right? And they covered the faces of them by saying that they are the judges. If not, where and who is he, all right? And look at the laws that he have govern this place. If he ain't the devil, who is? You can't even, when he do demonic things, you can't even speak against him. When he tell lies, you can't even expose him of his lies, or he comes down on you. And this is an example right here. Give 3 examples how you know this is the devil the Bible speaks of. All right. Who else wield this type of power? All right, now listen to this nigga. This nigga bugged out, but what he's saying is true.
Or what my coaches told me, like, because that's really what you want to get to.
Yeah, it's just really just being able to speak and not like, I think when you're in the NBA, it's a lot of things that you want to say that you could say, but you know if you say it, there's gonna be repercussions. You could get in a lot of trouble. For example, a couple years ago when I played for the Houston Rockets, I tweeted "Free Palestine," and I dang near got kicked out the league for it. And I'm like trying to figure out why. You know what I'm saying? I didn't obviously before that I had the conversation happened with some Palestinians, and they were telling me. I actually went to the movies one day. I was in the movies in Houston. A whole bunch of Palestinians was like, "Hey man, we're big fans of you. Can we watch movies with y'all?" So I'm like, cool, man. Yeah. You know, when I was in Houston and Orlando and a lot of cities I played in, I would take fans to movies. I would take them to main event, do big events at David Buster's and stuff like that. So we go to the movies. After the movies, I'm taking pictures with all the, fans and stuff like that. And they asked me to just bring some awareness to what's going on in their country. So, me having a big heart, I'm like,
the Christian thing to do.
Yes. I'm like, you know what? I want people to know the struggles y'all having. I don't think it's wrong. So I tweet "Free Palestine." Less than 10 minutes after I tweet that, I get a call from the commissioner of the NBA.
Stop it.
All right, now, you got to understand, the commission not sitting around looking at his tweets. The commission has handlers. So when he put that "Free Palestine," what's that saying? If you're saying "Free Palestine," that means you're against the Israelis, all right? But we're supposed to have freedom of speech, all right? We're supposed to be a nation where you have the freedom of liberties to believe what you want and do what you want. But when it comes to things that go on with those so-called Jews, you don't have that freedom. You can't express yourself. All right, your First Amendment rights is stripping from you. Okay, he should be, if he'd have typed "Free Nigeria," free those girls that the Muslim Nigerians stole, or free anybody going through a certain trivial situations. All right, if he said "free anybody," he wouldn't have had no backlash. If he would have said "free Taiwan from the oppression of China," "free Ukraine from the oppression of Russia," he wouldn't have got no backlash. But when he say "free the Palestinians from the oppression of the Israelis," all right, hey, he's about to lose. He said he's going to lose his job, lose his livelihood, get all his resources taken away from him. All right. That's because those are the movers and shakers of the planet Earth. When the scriptures say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, okay, that's who the wicked is, these so-called Jews. There's more.
Agents, people like working with my foundation at the time, Texas, you got to erase this tweet. You got to take this down. You're going to get it. I'm like, what did I do that was so bad?
Can somebody explain to me?
Yeah, can somebody explain? And it was just like, because I went against the grain. I said something that people didn't like. And now.
You see, but you can always say things people don't like. You can say things. It's two things that you can't speak against that these big hats hate. You can't speak against homosexual agenda, and you can't speak against the wickedness that these so-called Jews do around the planet Earth. Those are two things you can't speak against. You can speak against anything that you're against, you can speak against it. And you can do it with liberty, but you can't speak against that entity, man, because they are Satan, and Satan rules this present world. Okay.
People didn't like. They didn't like.
So now it's like I gotta stand on what I believe and how I feel, and not go back on it.
Yeah.
And when you're in the league, you be in that place where if I say too much, if I say something, I may not get a job no more.
That's that.
All right, and that's not the case. You just can't say nothing about those people. All right, those pieces of shit. And the Lord has raised up the prophets. We don't care if we lose our livelihood. Man, we gonna tell the truth. even if it costs us our life. All right. Now let's look at this nigga. And see, the Lord let these things happen because he wants to show us how not to be. Okay. When you do something, you do it with your whole might. When you come to serve Yahweh Shema Shai, he gave us a criteria we have to follow. All right. When you stand up for truth stakes, the Lord told you what's going to happen. He said, if they persecuted me, they're going to persecute you. All right. If they call the master of the house Beelzebub, what you think they're going to do to you? This is John. Where you at? All right. Yachanan. All right. This is John chapter 7. You go straight to the point in verse 19. All right. You know what? I'm going to go to 7. I'm going to start at first. 7. All right. John 7:7. The world cannot hate you, but me it hate it, because I testify of it that the works thereof are evil. All right. So when you come and testify against the works of this society is going to hate you. Okay. They're going to hate you. And I'm going to skip down to verse 19. And this is what they're going to want to do you. All right. Did not Moses give you the law? Yet none of you keep the law. Why you go about to kill me? So when you go out here and be a speaker for righteousness, okay, when you come out here and stand up for righteousness' sake, all right, and you're in a wicked society, everybody that's connected to that matrix is going to want to kill you, all right, and the servant isn't above the master. You see, but these guys, they might hear something and agree with it, but they love their lives unto death. So when their lives or their livelihoods get in jeopardy, what do? They go back on whatever they say, okay? They're scared, all right? Now, he said at the end that he learned from that and he going to stand up for whatever's right. But as soon as they come down on him and threaten him to take all his resources, all his millions out the bank, all right, and threaten him some type of way, he's going to go back on it and put another apology up there. He does not mean that. The only people that mean that is the servants of Yahweh Shema Shah. Now, this nigga here, he's a straight bitch ass nigga. All right, he went back so bad. He a coon. I think they having sex with this dude. He's so weak. All right. Now let's see what happened with Nori. Now that was Dwight Howard. Let's see what happened with the account with Noriega.
Am I apologetic? Yes, I'm super apologetic. It's a learning lesson for me. I've never faced this before, but I want to say that I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Am I apologetic? Yes, I'm super apologetic. It's a learning lesson for me. I've never faced this before, but I want to say that I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
You see, and he don't even know what he's apologizing for. The only thing he knows that the powers to be say, if you don't apologize, we're gonna take your drink a champ show. All right. And I think he got a big deal for that show. See, that's all he needed to hear. He don't even know what he's apologizing for. All right. Kanye West is somewhat conscious to a certain level, extent, and the things that he said is what the rulers to be say, the rulers of this day say, is anti-Shemitism. Okay. So this nigga, all right, is he supposed to be a journalist? Journalists are supposed to be non-biased in their opinions. They're supposed to let the speaker speak and ask hard questions. But since he didn't put a censor on Kanye West, they threatened to take everything. And he didn't be like, well, how you going to take my show just because I hear you say? He has plenty of people come on that show saying degenerative things, just pieces of shit come on there and say all type of ill things. He have people come up there threatening people and everything, but they never threaten the show. But you can't speak against these devils. All right. And that guy didn't have a goddamn spine. All right. You see? And he got persecuted for it. So we do it more than anybody. So you know the persecution coming down on us. All right. And here goes the last one I'm gonna bring up. All right, that's 3 men. And here goes the last one. This cat right here. They had him shaking in his boots so hard. But here we go.
Nick Cannon is apologizing for the anti-Semitic remarks that he made during a recent podcast episode. In a Twitter thread on Wednesday evening, Cannon wrote in part, "I extend my deepest and most sincere apologies to my Jewish sisters and brothers for the hurtful and divisive words that came out of my mouth." Cannon went on to say he feels ashamed of the
Now, this is after he was said that they are the real Jews. Okay? This is after he said that us so-called Negroes are the real Jews. Okay? So how do you do a 360 like that? They threaten to take his money, his resources. He loved his life unto death. Okay, instead of truth, we are ready to die for truth. They're not. These celebrities are not our representatives. The elder apostles of Great Millstone and everybody that teach that doctrine that they and their fruit and everybody that teach the doctrine that they teach are our representatives, the servants of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, we're not gonna hold our tongue for nothing when it comes to this truth. Okay, now we're wise and subtle as it pertains to the way we intertwine in this world when we're in this world, but when we are out here prophesying and teaching, and somebody come up against us, man, we're gonna be found faithful to death. All right, if they tell us at our job that we have to renounce Yahweh Shai, that's a job that we're gonna lose, man. Okay, if they tell us we got to come right, give a public apology and tweet it and get on the TV and apologize, that's gonna be an apology that no one's never gonna hear. They're gonna have to use AI to do that motherfucker, man. But these are sellout niggas, all right, wicked men. They'll agree with everything we'll say, but they're not ready to lose it all. As they say in this society now, amongst black culture, they ain't ready to risk it all, man. Okay.
Informed and naive place that these words came from. He ended the thread, "There is so much I have yet to learn. I have had at least a minor history lesson over the past few days." He promised that this is only the beginning of his education and expressed his gratitude to the rabbis, community leaders, and institutions who.
All right, and you gotta understand, man, these dudes not just ignorant street niggas. When you get to a certain state, your knowledge base start to broaden. You start being around more, like you could be from Brooklyn Zoo or the Calio projects or somewhere, some rat hole hood. But when you go up in society, you start intermingling with people in high society. Your spectrum starts to broaden. So he's talked to people that broke that history down to him, and it started making sense to him. He's saying this knowing that they're full of shit. All right, he knows the truth. He knows that he's saying that, and he has no integrity, and he's getting metaphorically rawed out with no grease, man. He know his manhood is getting stripped from him for him to apologize for something he don't agree with. He don't agree with that, but he loved his life unto death, so he's not worthy to go into the kingdom of heaven with the saints as one of those elect men.
Reached out to help enlighten him instead of chastising him. On Tuesday, Viacom CBS severed ties with Cannon over his remarks, while Fox said in a statement on Wednesday that Cannon will remain the host of its popular competition series, The Masked Singer. That statement.
All right, now you heard him say Viacom parted ways with him. All right, now you got to know who owns Viacom. Is the entity Paramount Global. Okay. And then you got to know who owns Paramount Global, BlackRock. All right, and who owns BlackRock? If no one person owns BlackRock, it's a bunch of billionaire Jewish shareholders that own BlackRock, that own all these media entities. You see what I'm saying? So when he said that, all of these platforms, these guys own, these so-called Jews own. That's why you gotta watch what the fuck you say. You can say something about anybody on the planet Earth. Any race, any creed, all right? You could be contrary to them. You could say whatever the fuck. It don't matter how deplorable or how low life your statement is towards them. Don't say nothing about the homosexual agenda, some homosexuality agenda, and don't say anything about the so-called Jews, or we will take every penny you have. We won't only counsel you. Let's say you got some millions stored up and put away. No, we're going to find a way to take all of your resources out the bank, but we'll leave you ass naked with nothing. That's why he's shucking and jiving, stepping and fetching, and tap dancing. That's what they came to him and told him. They came down, sent some handler, could come tell him what it is. And he got a big smile. Yes, sir, master. I got you, master. It won't happen again, master. All right? And all his integrity and manhood is stripped from him. Okay? And people of the earth is going to start seeing that, and they're going to start seeing, then people are about to see who the Lord's chosen. All right? They're going to see the men that don't love their lives to death. All right? Do your worst to us. We're going to stand stiffly for the testimony of Yahweh Shema Shai and tell the truth, man.
said in part,
and that's going to make these so-called Jews come down with great wrath to kill us. All right, the devil know you have a short time. All right, because people are starting to take heed to the prophets. People are starting to believe what they hear the prophets say, man. The servants of Yahweh Shema Shai. We are Yahweh Shema Shai's mouthpiece. Okay, so that's going to force this devil to come down with great wrath, man. Because nobody believe in your lies no more.
when we were made aware of Nick Cannon's interview with Richard Griffin on YouTube, we immediately began a dialogue with Nick. He is clear and remorseful that his words were wrong and lacked both understanding and context. And
wrong according to who? Wrong according to who? What did he say that was wrong? He's saying that the so-called Negroes of America are the real Hebrews, the real tribe of Judah, man. So that's wrong according to who? Those devils. And his platform that he makes his money off belongs to those devils. So they control you. Okay? You ain't shit. You're a piece of shit. You're a low level, low life nigga, man. You got monkey strings on you. And your dad is controlling you behind the curtain, man. You're not a man.
Inadvertently promoted hate. Cannon's latest statement comes
when you say something against them, you're inadvertently promoting hate. But they could call us Goyim, though. All right, they can say whatever they want against anybody. They can say doing whatever they want to do. They could go kill Palestinians in genocidal numbers. We talking about 40, 50,000. And you know those numbers are greater than that in Gaza Strip. They can say whatever they want and do whatever they want, but you can't disagree with what they're doing over there and speak on it. You can't say free Palestine. I don't agree how y'all bombing them every day. If you're a celebrity, man, in fact, fuck a celebrity. If you're on a lower level, let's say you're a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, all right, a fucking fireman. If you get on Facebook or something and say certain things, they will fire you from those platforms, man. Okay, you can't say nothing against these devils. The only people that's going to stand up stiffly and cuss this devil out is the servants of Yahweh Shema Shai. And that's why they about to come down on us with great wrath. All right, and outlaw us. I got some excerpts about that.
After he called Viacom CBS deceptive in a lengthy Facebook post early Wednesday morning, calling out the company's alleged treatment of him and saying that he was, quote, disappointed that Viacom does not understand or respect the power of the Black community.
All right, and Viacom is owned by BlackRock ultimately. All right, BlackRock owns Paramount Global. All right, because see, this is what these Jews do. They do know how to make that money and keep that money in the family. They have one entity that splinters off, and then you'll have a splinter entity that split off from that one, and they just keep mutating, all right? To the point they'll say, all right, Viacom itself is its own entity, all right? But Viacom split off from what? Paramount Global. But Paramount Global is its own entity. You see, so that's how a family really is supposed to be. Like if a daddy have 6 or 7 sons, that's how the family is supposed to metamorph. It's supposed to mutate like that. All right. These so-called white people, the Jewish, they got that part down right. They not going off the way they have these splinter groups and mutate their families. And all right, now you go over here. All right. BlackRock is the patriarch. Then boom, BlackRock is made so much money. Now one of the sons here, you go over here and you do Paramount Global. Then Paramount Global goes just as big as BlackRock. All right, now that son there splits off Viacom and he gives it to his brother, his cousin, his son. Then Viacom becomes a great entity, and then he gives it to another family member. That's how families are flourishing, all right? But see, these Jews don't tell you how to keep money in the family. They keep those secrets to themselves, man. They don't tell you how to do that. They want all of the wealth for themselves, okay? All right? So, hey, most of the entertainers, all right, all of the entertainers, I'm going to go on a limb and say all of them, they're under those entities. They gotta censor what they say. They can't say anything. All right, the Dwight Howard's out of the NBA, but he don't know who he fucking with. So he feel I'm retired now, I can say what I want. No, they'll still get your playboy. Where your money at? They own that bank, nigga. They'll still come at you. They'll still come for you. Oh, that nigga didn't learn yet. We didn't embarrass him enough. He's still talking shit, man. They will find a way to come up with some scandal. All right? He don't have that hedge of protection of Yahweh Shema Shai around him. They're going to come for him again because he's talking too much. For that little That little interview right there, they're gonna come back again. You're gonna hear him in the fucking scandals or something going on with him real soon. Because he ain't learned his lesson from it. Okay.
Spokesperson for Viacom CBS made their own statement on Tuesday, saying the company is, quote, deeply troubled that Nick has failed to acknowledge or apologize for perpetuating anti-Semitism, before going on to confirm that they would be terminating their relationship with him. The spokesperson added that Viacom CBS is committed to doing better in our response to incidents of anti-Semitism, racism, and bigotry.
Okay, now this is what's going to happen in this final hour. They're going to tighten them the ropes where nobody could say nothing. All right. And I'm going to show you the model that they're going to use. This is the model that they're going to use. They're going to use the model of an underling of Adolf Hitler. This guy by Joseph Goebbels. All right. And this is what he did during the time the Nazis came into power. Check them out. Now, this is the model these small heads is about to use to shut down the internet, take away free thought. Okay. They're going to use the model that the Nazis used when they were in power. Now listen to this. This is Paul Joseph Goebbels. Salaki if I pronounce it wrong. Was a small man with a large head, a crippled foot, and a fragile body. All right, now all them Amalekites, you look at them, they be weak and feeble. That's how they are. They the smallest tribe because the Russians, all right, they the biggest tribe of Esau. But the Amalekites, whenever you see them so-called Jews, they be small, weak, look like they be retarded. You know what I'm saying? But they the ones with the biggest brain, in my opinion, because it's not muscles, it's a man's mentality and thought process. That's where the power lies, okay? But his voice was mesmerizing. Unlike Adolf Hitler, who was a so-called Jew, whose rough voice sometimes broke when he reached a fever pitch of oration, Goebbels' speech was deep and resonant, never wavering from his careful crafted message of German superiority and rabid anti-Semitism. All right, as Hitler's minister of public enlightenment. All right, so he was in Hitler's cabinet, and Hitler put him at the minister of public enlightenment and propaganda. All right, now this is what these devils about to do. Okay, this is what these devils about to do. Listen to that word. He was a minister of Hitler's public enlightenment and propaganda. Now, watch what this nigga did with that. All right. And this is what America is about to use. And the so-called Jews are use. They're going to use this model to just take away. You can't even think nothing wrong, or they're going to throw you in a concentration camp. Goebbels masterminded the Nazis' propaganda machine and executed its murderous agenda. All right. Its murderous agenda. All right. So they were just killing people that didn't think on how they wanted you to think or said what you wasn't supposed to say. Okay. And no one believes his message more than Goebbels himself. All right. You know what? I'm going to skip that part. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to get straight to the point. I'm going to get one vast propaganda machine. All right. Now, yeah, this is what I'm going to read. When Hitler ascended to power in 1933, Goebbels took over the Minister for Public Enlightenment and Propaganda, which controlled radio, press, publishing, cinema, and other arts. So when you look at these entertainers here in America, okay, rappers, singers, actors, okay, even these football, basketball niggas, okay, all of their jobs is the so-called Jews write their checks, okay? So these Jews have control over all of these industries: radio, press, publishing, cinema, and arts. Arts fall into sports, acting, and music, all right? That's where the vast majority of our people get rich, okay? Publishing, newspapers, press, so on and so forth. Cinema, that goes into acting, okay? All right, so they have full control of information, okay? All of those things push out information, all right? These are the entities used to get people to think how you want them to think. Goebbels subjected artists, all right? See what we just said about subjected? That means control. That's what we just seen with Dwight Howard, Nick Cannon, and Noriega. Them niggas are subjected to say what them small hats wanted them to say. And when they said something wrong, they was put in their place. Goebbels subjected artists and journalists to state and control all Jews and political opponents from positions of influence. Okay? So he made it where anybody that was against their agenda had to shut the fuck up and strip them of their power. Okay? And when they spoke, they only had to speak, get on TV or whatever and speak positive for our agenda. Okay? On May 10th, 1933, he staged a massive book burning in Berlin. They're gonna burn our Bibles, Aki. All right? They're gonna burn the Bibles. They're gonna get rid of the Bible. The Bible is gonna be outlawed in the coming days. Where university students destroyed the works of Jewish and other blacklisted authors in huge bonfires. All right, they're gonna burn the Bibles, and all of our epistles that we're putting up on the internet. They're gonna delete them, wipe them all away. That's how you're gonna get the famine of the word. You see, you're not gonna be able to go back on the internet and type in these breakdowns and type in Hebrew Israelite. In fact, if you get on your internet when they roll out this new system and type in Hebrew Israelite, a Fed gonna be meeting you at your door, dragging you out your fucking house. Okay, that's what it's about to come to. Goebbels promoted the Nazis' anti-Semitic message through black and white films. You see, these are they use that industry to push their agenda, such as the Eternal Jew, and reinforce an ideology of Nazi supremacy with lean Ristenfall state-funded documentaries, Trump of the Wheel. You see, this is the only. They're gonna start making movies demonizing the Hebrew Israelite. They're gonna have news clips demonizing the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, this is what they're gonna do. They're gonna use this model. They're gonna have the earth hating us. That's why the Lord say, "Blessed are you when men revile you." All right, they're gonna use this system to demonize us, and we're gonna be in the spirit like they was telling our great king. They was gonna be calling us Beelzebub and worse words. All right, about a Nazi rally in Nuremberg in 1934 and Olympia. And they're going to use these entertainers. They're going to use our own people to demonize them. They're going to use these Olympians. They're going to use these actors and these sports niggas and these rappers to push their agenda. All right, because they're going to control them. All right, men that don't have integrity can be bought off. Everybody has a price, okay? Everybody that's not in this truth. All right, if you're not in this truth, you have a price. I always believe that. The only reason we don't have a price is because of the Holy Spirit. All right. About the Berlin Olympics of 1936. While Hitler is a fair orator, Goebbels is a past master. Observed American ambassador William E. Dodd. He has combined all the newspaper, radio publications, and art activities in Germany into one vast propaganda machine. All right, and that's what these devils is about to do with the internet. They're going to make it one vast propaganda machine to push this new world order. Anybody with any other philosophies, any contrary mindsets, you're going to be demonized and killed. Okay, this is what the end look like. This is the new America. This is the new world. All right, this is going to be the new world order. Okay, now let's see the things this nigga did. Okay, what they did in Germany. All right, after creating an atmosphere of fear and hatred. All right, and that's the atmosphere they're going to create. They're gonna say that we are, us brothers in the faith, are T-Rexes. All right. They're going to say we're teaching hate. That's what they told Nick Cannon. You're teaching hate. Anything that's contrary to their doctrine, they're going to call it hate. They're going to call us hate mongers. They do it already. Goebbels began to authorize violence himself. You see? It's going to be a free-for-all for them to kill us, just like they did in the early church. All right? I should have a clip. Yeah, I do. I got a clip for the emperor that put the same goat on Christians in the early church. All right, he gave the green light for everybody to kill him. Okay, on November 9th, 1938, after the assassination of a German diplomat by a Jewish student in Paris. All right, this is what you got to understand. They saying this was an assassination of a German diplomat. See, they do things like this. The German diplomat probably was killed by a German, and they put it on the Jew. That's the things they do to get pass their agendas and do what they want. That would have been a false flag. The German student would have been 100% easy. I mean, the so-called Jewish student in Paris would have been 100% innocent, and the German diplomat would have been killed by his own people, and they would use that to push their agenda to kill the Jews. That's what they're going to do us. They're going to get some dumb nigga with a beard and a garment on to do something stupid, and then they're going to use that incident to have a free-for-all on us, okay? That's what you call propaganda, and it's wicked. Gabriel's called for rampaging mobs. Salakia. Gabriel's called for spontaneous demonstrations against the Jews. All right, the so-called Jews, okay? And when the pogrom known as Kristallnacht was over, rampage mobs had killed 91 so-called Jews, okay? Now this is the mob that's the model they're about to use on us, okay? Burnt more than 900 synagogues. So any brothers with the camps, that's why we're gonna have a famine of the word. All right, anything ain't gonna be no more going on the block and teaching. All right, because the law that's gonna be passed, you could kill them on sight, and they're gonna let every American have their right to kill them on sight. Okay, and you know the simple believe every word. Whatever they see on TV, they're gonna believe it. All right. So they burnt more than 900 synagogues and destroyed nearly 7,000 Jewish businesses and caused 30,000 Jewish men to be deported to concentration camps. All right? That's the model they're about to use against us. Okay? And anybody that has integrity, all right, that doesn't conform, they're going to behead you or put you in one of those fun camps. Goebbels later helped execute Hitler's final solution, ensuring public warnings that the Jews will pay extermination of their race. And that's what they're going to do. Psalms 83, they want to wipe us real Jews off from being a nation. This is the model they're going to use, you see? And the precursors that where you see these guys, they can't even say nothing that's the truth. Okay? That's just the beginning. All right? And supervising the deportation of Jews and other people considered undesirable by the Nazis from Berlin to extermination camps. All right. And this is the model that's going to be used against us. Okay. Now, let me show you. Nothing's new under the sun. This happened in ancient Rome. All right. This same thing happened in ancient Rome. Okay. And this article is Diocletian. This was Roman Emperor Diocletian. They should have some on there to pronounce it. Don't they got to look? Thing where they let you pronounce the motherfucker. Hey, on my phone when I'm on here, they do got something that you can press and it'll let you pronounce the names that be hard. Let me see. Ain't nothing on here. Diocletian. That's not his name. That's they made a Diocletian. See that, like, you got something called Pythagoreanism, but that wasn't his name. His name is Pythagorean. All right. Anyway, they're not. Let me see if they'll let you. They got a tool on here to pronounce his name. Nope. All right. But this is the Emperor Diocletian persecution of the Christians. Now, I'm gonna show you. He passed decrees. He passed legislation to take us out. Okay, I'm gonna just read the top part. The Diocletian or Great Persecution was the last and most severe persecution of Christians in the Roman Empire. Now, this was really us. Okay, this was us for real. This was our ancestors. All right. In 303, the Emperor Diocletian, Maximian, Galerius, Constantius issued a series of edicts, all right, and edicts are laws, okay? And here we go. An edict is a decree or announcement of a law, often associated with monarchies, but it can be under an unofficial authority. Synonyms include dictum and pronouncement. Edict derives from the Latin edictum. All right, now this is hundreds of years after Nero. Nero really was the first to do it, but he didn't write it in the legislation. All right, he was the first one to really outlaw it, but this emperor here, he wrote it in the legislation, and that's what we're about to read. Okay. And it says in 303, Emperor Diocletian, Salakia, if I'm mispronouncing, Maximus, Galerius, and Constantinus issued a series of edicts rescinding Christians' legal rights. All right, listen, rescinding Christians' legal rights and demanding that they comply with traditional religious practices. Okay, so they put it in law that they had to renounce Yahweh and conform to the Roman way of life, that fourth beast. All right, that fourth beast you read about in 2 Esdras 11. All right, now let me get straight to the point. All right, let me get straight to the point. Early persecutions. That's not what I want. All right, here we go. The first edict. Now, here we go. Now, this is the law right here. This is the law. Okay, in the ancient world. All right, that they passed. All right, nothing new under the sun. On February 23rd, 303, Diocletian ordered that the newly built Christian church at Nicaea be raised. Boy, them Latin words be fucking with me. Salakia. Its scriptures burnt. You see? This is going to happen. That's why we got to get it while the getting is good. That's why the Lord say, seek me while he may be found. All right. And it's written in another place, the day come when nobody's going to be working. All right. That day is upon us. Okay. And his treasure seized. February 23rd was the feast of Terminalia for Terminius, the god of boundaries. They had a god for every fucking thing. Well, damn degenerates. It was the day that they would terminate Christianity. All right, and do it by decree. This is an edict. This was legislation passed. They're going to do it again. And this is what they did to the early church. All right, so you know they're going to do it in this modern time. The next day, Diocletian's first edict against the Christians was published. All right, so no different than these senators go to Capitol Hill and write something in the legislation and pass it. Now it's law. Everybody has to follow it. That's what they did in the ancient world. The key targets of this piece of legislation was senior Christians. All right, so they're going to come at our apostles first. All right, clerics and Christians' property. Then you see they're going to take everything you got. We're going to lose everything. It didn't say only those men, but their properties. All right, everything they own. Okay, so you can throw that job away. That's why we say don't put your dreams, goals, and aspirations. What the Spirit says to the churches. Don't put your dreams, goals, and aspirations in this place, because everything gonna be taken away for us for believing in Yahweh Shai. Just as they had been during Valerian's persecution. Okay, the edict prohibited Christians from assembling for worship, so that kills us going on the block teaching. Okay, that kills it. All right, this is how the famine of the word is going to be instituted. And ordered the destruction of their scriptures. Boy, this that's why you got to get the word in you. All right, that's why the Lord say, he that sows sparingly shall reap sparingly. All right, that's why you got to the scripture say, blessed is he that readeth. All right, let me get that real fast. Because the kingdom is within, so we got to get this word inside us. They could destroy all the Bibles all they want. Us brothers got it in us. All right? This is our Revelation. It's imperative that you get it in you. You pray for the Lord for more wisdom, according to James, the 1st chapter. All right? 5th verse. Any man that lack wisdom, ask from Yahweh Shema Shai, who give it to all men liberally. Okay? So the Lord strengthens your memory and it'll be inside of you. All right, this is our Revelation 1 and 3. Blessed is he that readeth and that hear the words of this prophecy and keep those things that were therein, for the time is at hand. You see? So the men that are going to get away out of this persecution and endure to the end is the men that had this word written in their heart. Okay? The men that studied to show themselves approved, according to, let me get that. Let me go ahead and get it. All right? Because they're going to do away with the Bibles. All right, you ain't gonna have no smartphone to pull up no scriptures, so it has to be in you. It has to be in your medulla, your frontal lobe, whichever one of them stores your memory. Okay. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. All right. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. All right. So the way we're going to be approved, Yahweh Shema Shai, how we got this word in us, all right, and use it as a defense when persecution came against us. All right. And this is what keeps us strong. All right. This is what keeps us built forward tough, man. All right. The more word in you, the more you grow, the more you're ready to just go to the guillotine with a smile. The more whatever comes upon you, you're ready to endure it. All right. Because you got faith. The more this word get in you, the stronger your faith becomes. All right. So let's say this was a brother. Let's say what we just saw with Noriega and them and Nick Cam and them. If that was a brother would be like, take everything from me, nigga. Do your worst. Yahweh Shema Shai is going to take care of me. Okay. They can't pull that. They can't pull that with brothers. All right. With men, servants of Yahweh Shema Shai. That's why the Lord told the devil, have you considered my servant Job? You can take everything from him. He's still going to hold it down. All right. They took everything. Job was threatened with that. All right. It happened to Job and he held it down. Took everything from him. And he kept his integrity. Them niggas there ain't keep their integrity. And most of our people won't. And what's sad, you know, it's going to be some brothers in the faith that's not going to do it. That's why we got to pray and fast and ask the Lord to give us his spirit, man. So we don't, because it's easy to say what's going to happen and come out here and say certain things, but it's a different thing when you in the game, all right? Like when you at practice, all right? I used to play ball, all right? I started varsity, okay? Practice was different than the game. At practice, you didn't get them butterflies in your stomach. When you got in the game, every game, you got butterflies in your stomach. Game was even like when we practice at full pace, when you got in the game, the full pace in the game was different than the full pace at practice, okay? So when you get in the game, it's different. When you got people shooting at you, you got the government sending drones and AI robots at your ass. It's different, man. Or you haven't went 10 to 11 days without eating, okay? It's different. That's why you got to build that close relationship with your Yahweh Shema Shai. That's what he meant when he say get built on your most holy faith. Okay, now let me pick up where I left off. I'm talking too much. The key targets of this piece of legislation were Christian clerics and Christians' property. So everything you got gonna get taken away, just as they had been during Valerian's persecution. The edict prohibited Christians from assembling for worship and ordered the destruction of their scriptures, liturgical books. So that's how you know they're going to do away with all these videos we do. They're going to do away with them. And places of Russia across the empire. All right. So this was all throughout the Roman Empire. Okay. This law was passed. But Christians tried to retain the scriptures as far as possible. Though, according to D. St. Croix, it appears that giving them up was not regarded as a sin in the East. All right. In the East part of the Roman Empire was the last to fall. All right. That was Byzantium. That's where our people was rolling. All right. That's why our people came into power. Sufficient numbers of them must have been successively saved. No shit, Sherlock. That's how we got it. All right. The Lord protected that word. You know, he protected from generation to generation. He gave it to somebody so we can get it. Okay. So they couldn't destroy it. All right. And you read about that in Acts the 5th chapter. You know, you couldn't stop this thing from growing, as is evident from the representatives finding of early biblical papyri. That's what they used to write on in the back in the days. In the stream of the transmissions of the text during this period, Christians might have given up apocryphal or pseudo epigraphal works, all right, or even refused to surrender during their period. And hey, listen, and you got a list. You can pull it up. It was a list of Christian martyrs from the 1st century to the 3rd century. Hundreds of them. All right, you can Google them. It's there. I did a sit down on a couple of them. All right, you had what was that guy name? He was a saint. The Catholics use him as a saint. I did a sit down on him earlier last year. Polycarp. Polycarp. Okay. He was one of them. He was one of the leaders of the church. And it was hundreds of them just like him. They was like, fuck it. I'm doing it to the death. All right. And they burned him at the stake. And while he was burnt at the stake, he looked at the believers like he wasn't burning, like he didn't feel the fire, and told them everything was going to be okay. It was like a scenario what happened with Stephen. Okay. Christians might have been given up apocryphal or pseudo-graphical works, even refused to surrender during this period. Christians might have given. I just read that part. Salakia. All right. Christians might have given up apocryphal or pseudo-graphical works, or even refused to surrender their scriptures to the cost of their own lives. All right. So those are righteous deaths, righteous men, beautiful deaths. And there were some cases where the scriptures were not in the end destroyed. Obviously, look at our day and time. We have it all. We have everything we need to get gain salvation. All right. So that's true. That's not a bone. Christians were also deprived of right to petitions of court. Yep. So you would not get your just due in this new world order. All right. You ain't gonna get nobody to come represent you in court. All right. Your judgment is sealed and done, making them potential subjects of judicial torture. Christians could not respond to actions brought against them in court. All right. Now, the legislation that's passed in our day and time is the National Defense Authorization Act. All right. That's the same as this. Okay. You don't have the right to get nobody to hire you. All right. You can't get just due in the judicial system, and they could take all your stuff and kill you. All right. So that legislation is here in the new Rome. All right. In the new Rome, the beast whose wound was here. All right. That legislation is passed already. The National Defense Authorization Act that Obama signed in the legislation. All right. You do not get due process. You just condemn out the gate. They don't even got to prove that you're guilty. Christian senators, equestrians, all right, and decurions. So those are the same as so-called aristocrats in this society. Equestrian, he was something. I think he was something like a general. He was something like a general. Let me see. Equisite in the Latin. Yeah, he was like the knight, the equus, horse, a cavalryman. He was like a general in the Roman army. Just what I thought. A member of the Christian order was known as eques, like the guy Julius Caesar, Tiberius. Tiberius Alexander. He was equestrian. He was a nigger. All right, and he sold out. All right, Christian senators, equestrians, decurions, veterans, and soldiers were deprived of their ranks, and Christian emperor freedmen were re-enslaved. Okay, so if you got your freedom and you converted to Christianity in the ancient world, you believed in Yahweh, they put your ass back in slavery. If you were somebody who climbed up the corporate ladder and had some rank, all right, and recognition in the society, you were stripped of everything you worked for. Okay. So Luke was a doctor in the Roman Empire. They took his doctoral degree from him, all right, and took away all his rights. You don't think that's about to happen again? Yes, and it's going to be worse. All right. Diocletian requested that the edict be pursued without bloodshed. That's bullshit. Against Galerius' demands that all those refused to sacrifice be burnt alive. All right. Now, when they say all those that refuse to sacrifice be burnt alive, all right, liken that to the chip. All right. This is what they're gonna want you to do. Renounce your Yahweh and get the chip. All right. If you don't renounce your Yahweh or get the chip, they're going to burn you alive. In this idea and time, most of it's going to be take you to the guillotine. All right, and torture you. Okay. In spite of Diocletian's request, local judgments often enforced executions during the persecution, as capital punishment was among their discretionary powers. Okay. Because you had thousands of people that did not renounce Yahweh in the early church and during those times. And those men are back right now, ready to get that same fate if it come to it. Galerius' recommendation Burning alive, yep, that was the way. They put you on a cross or they burnt you alive. They use you as a goddamn torch. Valerius' recommendation, burnt alive, became a common method of executing Christians in the East. After the edict was posted in Nicomedia, a man named Eutychus tore it down and ripped it up, shouting, "Here are your Gothic and Samaritan triumphs." He was arrested for treason, tortured, and burnt alive soon after the ethics, becoming the edict's first mitre. All right, so that was a righteous man. That was a man that didn't love his life unto death. Okay, all right, and guys like him are back in this day and time now, back in their lives. Okay, the provisions of the edict were known and enforced in Palestine by March or April, just before Easter, and it was in use by local officials in North Africa because the Roman Empire was vast, man. It was vast. Okay, the earliest martyr at Caesarea was executed on June 7th, and the edict was enforced in Cirta from May 9th. In Gaul and Britain, Constantinus did not enforce the edict, but in the East, progressively harsher legislation was devised. The edict was firmly enforced in Maximus' domain until his abdication in 305. But persecutions later began to wane when Constantinus succeeded Maximian and were officially halted when Maximian took power in 306. Okay, so you see the decrees was put out in the ancient world. Christianity was outlawed, all right, and the punishment for death for believing in Yahweh Shema Shai and teaching in his name, the punishment for breaking those laws was death. All right, now I'm gonna read this last part to show you you're gonna have people that give up, okay? Because this is what happened in the ancient world. This is the second, third, and fourth edicts, all right? So they kept passing them unrighteous degrees, okay? I'm gonna read the second paragraph. In anticipation of the upcoming 20th anniversary of his reign in November 20th, 303, Diocletian declared a general amnesty in a third edict. Any imprisoned clergyman can be freed so as long as he agreed to make a sacrifice to the gods. You see, and that's what they're going to do. They are going to do that, okay? They're going to let you free. They're going to let people free that get the chip. You got to renounce your Howard shadow, okay? You have to renounce. That's the equivalent of the chip. Sacrificing to the gods, liken it to the chip. Diocletian may have been searching for some good publicity with his legislation. He may also have been sought to fracture the Christian community by publicizing the fact that his clergy had apostatized. That means they turned their heel. That means they gave up. Okay. The demand to sacrifice was unacceptable to many of the imprisoned. So you had righteous men that said, "Look, I ain't renouncing Yahweh Shah for nothing." All right. So they stayed in prison or was killed. But wardens often managed to obtain at least nominal compliance. Some of the clergy, this is the point right here, what I want to read. Some of the clergy sacrificed willingly. So they didn't hold fast to the end. All right. And others did so on pain and torture. You see, this is what we got to pray to Yahweh Shema Shai to give us the strength to go through. You know, you got to count the cost, man. You got to know what you signed up. Some of them sacrificed willingly because they was locked up and they wanted to get out free. And some of them when they were tortured, they said, fuck it, and they renounced Yahweh Shai. All right. That's what the book of Jude say mean when they say get built up on your most holy faith. All right. Because this is what's going to happen. All right. That was the equivalent of them taking the chip, man. That's just like them taking the chip. All right. When they went and sacrificed, they took the chip instead of held fast to the end. All right. If they're going to torture you, just ask the Lord to give you the strength to make it through that torture. All right. So let me funnel all these through the scriptures. All right. This is book of Isaiah. these are going to be some horrific times the men of the Lord we're about to go through. But hey, whatever we go through, the kingdom of heaven is here. They kill us. Shit. We come back with y'all shot. You know, the hunger, we not eating, or we lose our families, man, we're going to get all of it back. 100-fold, man. Like, it's all going to be worth it. Anything we go through is going to be worth it. Getting your fucking eyes gouged out, your toes cut off, go to a guillotine. It is worth what we're going to have in store for us if we hold fast to the end, man. That's why you got to ask for the Lord for that power right now. This Isaiah 28:20. For the terror is brought to naught. You see, these Jews are getting brought to naught. And the real way they get brought to naught is when they've been exposed in their witchcraft and their trickery is no longer working. Them manipulating and deceiving the people ain't working no more because of the light bearers that are the real Jews that are telling the truth through the scriptures. And the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. Okay, and that's why he's going to come down, because he know he have but a short time, because all of the elect is going to come together, the northern tribe and the southern tribe. All right, and they're going to come together. They're not going to listen to none of his lies. And then the peoples of the earth are going to be calling him the devil. All right. So he's not even going to try to deceive no more. He's just going to show his horns. He's going to be like, yeah, I am the devil. Conform to Satanism. This devil about to get that bold. Okay. He's not even going to try to deceive people no more. That making a man offender for a word. All right. We're about to be offenders for this doctrine that we're teaching, just like the early church. Okay. We about to offend, and the penalty for offending is death. All right. Concentration camps, torture, and death. That's the penalty. And lay a snare for him that reprove at the gate. Us brothers are proving that we are reproving at the gate. We're in a cheap place of concourse, pushing this beautiful doctrine. How beautiful the feet of him that bring forth good tidings, man. And turn aside the just for a thing of naught. All right. That's what Amalek is doing. All right. This is what we signed up for. Okay. All right. Now, this is what happened in the ancient world. It's nothing new under the sun. All these things that happened before. It's just this in this incarnation is going to be worse than all those things that happened in the ancient world. Okay. This is First Maccabees. I'm gonna go straight to the point. Go down to verse 44. First Maccabees 1:44. All right. Epiphanes gave that same decree that Roman emperor gave. Could have been him in the reincarnation. They always come down on us, man. All right. It's nothing different. Okay. This is First Maccabees 1:44. For the king has sent letters by messengers into Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land. All right. So that same decree is about to come in our day and time. The strange law of the land is you got to get that chip. All right. And you have to renounce your Yahushua. You can't tell people that you're an Israelite from the various tribes. All right. Those are the decrees that are about to go out. All right. And you have to submit to this new world order. All right. That's what it was in the ancient world. They want you to sacrifice the idols, eat pork in the holy place. That's what they was commanding them to do. In our day and time, they want you to renounce your Yahushua and take that Quran. Okay. Skip down to verse 49. And it reads, to the end that they might forget the law and astray and change all the ordinances. See, renounce your Yahushua. That's the equivalent to renouncing your Yahushua in our day and time. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he should die. Okay. And that's what the same thing that Gabba did, Joseph Gabba did in Nazi Germany. All right. They passed those same decrees. That's the same model that's about to be used in this day and time. All right. And in the self-same manner, he wrote to his whole kingdom and appointed overseas over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice, commanding us, and in our day and time, take that Quran, city by city. Okay. And then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, everyone that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land. and drove the Israelites, all right, they elected them into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for security. And those are the ones that believed that ran away. That's why the scriptures say we're going to be pilgrims in the earth, all right? We're not going to be, we don't have a stand army. We're not going to fight this devil. We're going to pray that the Lord protect us, give us some spiritual powers during that time, and guide us away from our enemies, okay? Okay? I'm going to skip down to verse 57. And whosoever was found with any book of the testament, anybody living according to the scriptures, or if any committed to the law, the king, if any committed to the law, all right, if anybody stood so stiffly for the testimony of Yahushua, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. All right. Welcome to the end. All right, that's the decree that's about to go out now. Okay, and it looked like Trump gonna be the one to implement it if his ass don't get assassinated. All right, this is the book of Second Maccabees. All right, they want us profane, man. All right, and the greatest profanation right now is them turning you to a cyborg. All right, once they put that shit in you, man, ain't no getting it out. You're a goddamn cyborg. They could upload you and download your ass. All right. This is Second Maccabees 4:11. All right, and the royal privileges granted for special favor to the Jews by the means of John, the father of Eupolemus, who went ambassador to Rome for enmity and aid, he took away. And it's talking about that wicked rich Jason. All right, you got people that out here prophesying and saying they're servants of the Lord. They're gonna be in the spirit of Jason in the ancient world. All right, he sold out. Okay, he was a high priest that sold out, and putting down the governments which were according to the law, he bought up new customers against the law. All right, for filthy lucre. All right, for money. All right, he turncoated his people. He traded. Okay, and then he started oppressing those that stood stiffly. For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself. That's why the Lord told us, don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers, man. All right, because when pressure come down, they're going to do whatever the system tell them to do, even if it means putting you to death. So that's why you got to do away with that emotional connection you have with your biological family, all right? Because they fall in that lot, okay? And it reads, and he brought the chief young man under his subjection and made them wear a hat. And when you go into that word, to that way to wear a hat, all right, he made them, they were uncircumcised, then he made them go uncircumcise themselves. All right, they'll go sew some extra foreskin on their private part. Yeah, they was off in the ancient world. And you can liken that to getting that damn charagma. Okay, that's what that wear a hat means. Made them uncircumcise themselves, man. Them niggas was off, man. Off. Okay. And they sold out. Okay. Not setting by the honest Salakia. Where was I? We'll go to verse 13. Okay. Now such was the height of Greek fashions and the increase of heathenish manners, though the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that ungodly wretch, and no high priest. He was a sellout. So our sellouts, you got to know, we're going to have a lot of sellouts in this final hour. Judas goats, all right, and just niggas of our nations. They're going to be sold out to this new world order agenda. They're going to do whatever it takes to push it, okay? That the priests had no courage to serve anymore at the altar. That's because they was threatening with their lives, all right? You see, and that's what we don't want. That's why things written aforetime were written for our learning. All right. The Lord say, He's making us a nation of priests. All right, in Revelation, the 1st chapter. So we want to stand so stiffly. We don't want to do what those ancient priests did in the ancient world where they got scared. All right, they loved their lives to death. But despising the temple and neglecting the sacrifice, hasten to be partakers of the unlawful alliance in the place of exercise. after the game of Dixon called them forth. All right. So they sold out. All right. They lost the faith. Okay. When their lives were threatened and their livelihood was threatened, they gave in. Okay. These things are aforetime written for our learning, how not to be. Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. And that's another thing. This devil, he gonna bless you when you sell out. All right. You get that Quran when you was a guy prophesying on the block, condemning his ass. And he got all the evidence of you doing. Then he bring you into one of them rooms and tell you, look, I'm gonna give you this chip. I'm gonna put 10 million, whatever you call it, on this chip, give you a big mansion on this chip, or you're gonna go over here to the right, and we're gonna take you in this concentration camp and behead you. All right, make your choice. Okay, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of guys that's gonna sell out. All right, lose the faith. That's what you got to pray for every day. That Psalms 51. La ata shalaki and melapunya karawakar kodashka la ata kwak mamunya. Cast me not from thy presence and take not thy Holy Spirit away from me. You got to say it every day and anoint yourself with that number 6. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna say all of it. you gotta pray these prayers daily, man. All right. You gotta pray without ceasing. Okay. If you got a vice, a demon you haven't conquered, we don't have much time to conquer it. You better go to the drawing board and fast and beat your flesh into subjection. All right. I've had to do it. Okay. Keep your eyes single. Okay, because this is about to be real life. What we're reading about to happen in the ancient world is about to be up close and personal in our lives. Okay. It's about to go down. Okay. This is Acts. The Acts of the Apostles, man. This is what happened in the early church, man. Them brothers were persecuted. A lot of them were killed, man. Okay? A lot of them was killed. A lot of these people that you see these letters that Paul was giving shots out to, Apollos and I forgot, Eraticus. All right? When you look those guys up in secular history, a lot of them dudes, brothers, was put to death. A lot when Paul wrote them letters and he would send them shout outs, some salutations, and you look up those names of the men that was is on Wikipedia, the one on the martyrs in the early church. A lot of those people that was with Paul, a lot of them. Barnabas was killed. All right, even though him and Barnabas was separated, Barnabas ended up getting killed, man. All right, a lot of them in the early church gave up the ghost. I'm almost positive Timothy got killed. Timothy was killed. All right, they give you a list on Wikipedia, all of them where history tells who are martyrs, man. All right, that same persecution about to roll around again. All right, this Acts 17 and 6. And when they found them not, all right, this is that riot that happened. All right, well, Paul, when you read in I think, yeah, this is the one where they had the riot in Ephesus. You see, it might not be. Don't quote me on it. Well, Paul said he was in the mouth of the lion and the Lord delivered him. That was a riot in Ephesus. This, you know what? I'm not gonna vein jangle. I'm just reading and break it down. All right, Acts 17 and 6. And when they found them not, they drew Jason, a certain brother, into the rulers of the city, crying that he had turned that these had turned the world upside down or come here also. You see, and those was Israelites bringing them to the council. Okay, these brothers was being persecuted. All right, they had a riot in Ephesus where they tried to kill Paul, and he said, "The Lord delivered him out of the mouth of the lion." That was that riot that was in Ephesus. All right, and Alexander the coppersmith was behind this shit. Okay, you see, whom Jason have received, and these all do contrary to the decrees of Caesar. We're doing contrary to the decrees of Caesar, especially this new legislation that they're gonna roll out. All right now we so-called got First Amendment rights, but they about to do away with this Constitution and roll out another one, saying that there is another king, one Yahushua, and that's what we're doing. Nothing no different. And they troubled the people and the rulers of the city when they heard these things. Okay. All right. That's the same thing that's about to happen, man. It's about to happen to us. And we under our enemy is strong, and he's he's brutish, animalistic. That nigga killing his own people. So who are we? They got decrees to kill their own people of their own nation. Okay? Esau is diabolical, especially the house of Amalek. Amalek only care about other Amalekites, okay? He don't even care about the people of his own nation. And then he don't even care about all Amalekites, that 1%, those that are in their circle, okay? All right, this is Matthew 5. I'm going to leave off on this one. Well, no, I'm going to read the last one I got. All right, Matthew 5:11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you. See, the persecution is coming. It's basically here. And shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my name, for my sake. All right. So we're blessed when this persecution comes. All right. Now, do we like Yahushua? He prayed to the Lord that this cup can pass me. Do we want to get tortured? Do we want to get killed? Do we want to feel pain? No. No. But if that's our lot, you do what Yahushua do. Don't let my will be done, but let your will be done. Just give me the strength. Give me the strength to go through it, okay? Because the persecution coming, you can't get around it. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. That's what I was saying earlier. No matter what we go through, they take your homes, they take your jobs, they kill your children, they kill you. All right, our reward is worth it. All right, count the cost. All right. Sometimes you be like, is the trouble worth the reward? Yes. Just think about the word immortal. That should be enough right there. Immortal, but you got to believe though. You have to believe. Just think about immortal for infinity. I'm gonna be good. Okay. I just got to go through this little thing of death. Eternity. Just think of eternity. Okay? Compared to what the shit here, this carnal temporal bullshit. Okay? For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. And this comes with the territory, man. When you stand up for righteousness, the matrix is going to attack you. All right? And try to kill you. And some brothers have to give up the ultimate sacrifice. Okay? And if it's us, so be it. All right? And this is the judgment is written. I mean, this tells you right here. All right? Our Lord forewarned us what would happen. This is Matthew 23 and 33. Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, and this is the Lord talking to niggas. How can you escape the damnation of hell? And we hate 2/3 of our people, man. They worse than Edomites, in my humble opinion. They worse than fucking devils, man. That's who I'm around. That's who I've been around my whole life. Now I grew up with Edomites. I went to private schools with their asses and shit. But man, my biggest resistance and people that double cross me is the niggas. Okay. All right. But we understand that our people are like that because of Esau, But we got, man, we're gonna better take our time with Esau, man. We got 1,000 years to play with our food, man. We're gonna be able to take our time and meditate terror on him, and slap him around and just do things for sport with his ass, man. Lord told us do to him double. So you know, we're gonna be able to take our time with that nigga. But when it come to our people, you know, Romans 11:25 say all of Israel shall be saved. So they're gonna come through that second resurrection. There ain't gonna be a lot of time to deal with their asses, man. Okay. Verse 34, wherefore, behold, I send to you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify. You see, and that's them niggas, man. That ain't Esau doing it. That's 2/3 of our people. All right, they did it in ancient world, they're gonna do it again. And some of them you shall scourge in your synagogues and persecute from city to city. You see, he talking about Israelites doing that to Israelites. That upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, son of Barachas, who you slew between the temple and the altar. All right. So the 2/3 judgment is written, all right, just like Esau, because they always persecuted the prophets. Okay. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. And when he used to say this generation, he was talking about our day and time. This the same generation that was there that he was talking to when he walked the earth. Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, all right? He's talking to our people. Thou that killeth the prophets. So it's not just going to be Esau coming down with that persecution. All right, our people that reject Hamashiach Yahweh. All right, they're going to come down on us, man. They're going to be in league with the so-called white men. All right? The Israelites biologically, but they're Edomites mentally, spiritually. All right? O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killeth the prophets and stonest them which are sent to thee. All right? We're sent to them. We're sent to give them this truth, whether they hear or forbear. How often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gather her chickens under her wings, her chickens under her wings, and you would not. Okay? Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. According to Psalms 109, their remembrance is going to be out, blotted out from the planet Earth. All right? And the men of the Lord, the elect men, you know, their heritage is going to go on forever. All right? So, yeah, this is what the end looks like, man. Persecution coming. There's nothing new under the sun. All right? Brothers are going to be offended for words. And this devil's going to bring in a false flag to demonize us, man. All right? This is it. So we got to be prepared and getting built up, seeking the Lord while he may be found, purging and fasting, okay? So with that, I'm going to give infinite honors to my Heavenly Father, my great King, Yahweh Shem Al Shai, Shem Hira Karkadash, double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, and salutation to my fellow laborers in the Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Kwame Asherala, Abba, Abba.